Welcome back to my second ever oil painting that I've done. So this one was done with the purpose to do it without a plan. So I was doing my first oil painting and I had a theme to it. And as I was doing it, I decided I really wanted to do one without a plan, just kind of in my abstract doodle style. So that's what I'm doing with this one. I'm pretty close to finishing this one up. I don't want to make this one super busy. I'm still getting used to how the oil paint kind of blends and mixes with each other. So especially because it's not a huge canvas, I don't want to add so much detail where some of the main kind of aspects and doodles get washed away. If you watched any of the first few videos of this painting, you'll know that I started this one just with a few lines. So that shape in the middle of the painting with the mountains on it and the face coming out of it, that's where I started it. I just did a few black lines that I turned into shapes, and then kind of from there added color and all that. So that's how we got to this point. And for the next little bit of this one, as I finish this one up, I just want to add this extra little detail in these parts. I want to do a little bit of the textures within the color. I want to kind of add a few other like geometric shapes and patterns, but I'm not going to do a lot of extra kind of planned out doodles or aspects in it. I'm just going to finish it up with just some extra little details and parts just to make it pop. It's interesting, when I get to the kind of 60% to 70% done the painting portion of it, I sometimes feel like I don't make a lot of progress on it when I'm doing just the small details. But since I started making videos about it, it's been fun to look back and see that in an hour or two of painting, when I feel like I wasn't making that much progress, how different it actually looks. So it's kind of cool to see the before and after of each part, and it kind of makes you realize that those small details that you add do make a difference for how the painting looks. I really like these oil paints because I find it's a lot more bright than the acrylic, and just the way they cover the canvas is different. So I'm looking forward to doing a lot more projects with these oil paints. So I think I'm finally at the point of finishing up this painting. I saw a few places that I wanted some extra colors, mainly bright colors on top of the dark ones, like in this little circus tent and up in the sky by that abstract hot air balloon. So I'm just doing a few little spaces where I'm just giving a bit of the contrast to the color and adding a few colors within spots just to kind of draw the eyes in a little bit more. But I don't want to do any other large planned out details or doodles because I think it would take away from some of the other ones. So I'm just going with a few colors that I have, mainly orange, yellow, and might do a little bit with red. But yeah, I like how it's looking, and just doing an extra little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of detail in the eyes, and that's about it. I really want to make sure that the main shapes in it pop out, and in some that I do that I kind of plan out, I want to have them as detailed as possible. But I think this one has a good level of detail where you can still see the cool little ways that certain designs blend into other areas of the painting, but they're not getting washed out. So just going with a little bit of paint on the brush and doing some very small little parts that, like I mentioned, it is kind of cool how much of a difference it does make when you look at it after. And I might do some lines in the black just to kind of have a few other areas where just like kind of little patterns. But other than that, I think I'm quite close to finishing this one up. I want to do another oil painting soon. I'm not quite sure what I want to do. So if you have any ideas for themes or cool kind of doodles or things you want to see in it, please let me know. I love to hear any ideas that people have for even challenges or things that I can try. I love hearing it from other people because they're usually ideas that I wouldn't try myself, or they're out of my comfort level. And I find that's when I do my favorite paintings. So now I'm just adding the final details. With the oil paints, it's a little bit harder to get it with those tiny details that I do with the acrylic ones, especially with the way that the paint dries. I find it's almost impossible to do that small little crisp detail without blending it. I want to get better at that, but I think if I want to do a extremely detailed oil painting, it would have to be on quite a large canvas, which I think would be fun to do. But for this one, I'm just blending in some of the colors. So for the eye, some of the areas might be a little bit gray, and I kind of like the way it looks. And sometimes what I'll do is if I have some gray on the brush, I'll use it in a few other areas, maybe like texturing, like on the mountain. A lot of the mountains are kind of paint that was on my brush just from when I was doing a detail on another part and it blended. And I think it's kind of a cool way to have a kind of color palette throughout it. So it's not just one area with one blended color, but there's another area where it's there. In some of my larger oil paintings, I have it where there'd be 2 or 3 kind of mountain areas, which are kind of nice spots just to be able to really blend it, which is a lot of fun with the oil paints. So maybe I'll do like a abstract kind of scenery for the next one, but I'm not too sure. This one was a lot of fun, and like I mentioned before, the oil paints I find are extremely bright and they pop out really well. And it's really interesting to see it beside an acrylic painting because you can see just how different the paint covers, and they're really nice. So I might get some more oil paints and do some more blending and just learn how to texture. But yeah, here it is. So it's finally done and I'm happy with how it looks. I think it was just a fun way to experiment a little bit with this new kind of oil painting style that I've been trying to do. So thank you for watching, and I'll be posting a time-lapse video of this painting as well.